Hello, this is Mike with Trade Winds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Primetime Tracer 2750 travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, of course, you want to leave room for that slide, but even more room for your awning. On your off campsite, besides your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to plug in all the way on the rear of the unit, all the way on the rear here. And then your docking station for water is going to be up toward the front. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Got a night docking light should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now should you lose power, underneath this bubbled stopper right here, you lift that up off there, and this small hand crank will get on a bolt down in there and get this, there we go, get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Once we got our unit level and stable, or level, now next we can do is stabilize it. Four corners unit got these stabilizing jacks with a 3/4 inch hand crank. As I bring these down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, keep them from sinking into hot blacktop in the summer. Run these down on top of those just until they're taut. Once you've got some resistance on your hand crank, stop. Remember, our unit's already level. All we're trying to do at this point is stabilize it. So get all four of them down. We got our unit level and stable. Now we can hook up our power and water. Again, 30 amp cord plugs in here on the rear. Looks like it might be about 25-30 foot long. Plugs in back here. Put that black washer on to lock it on. Should you need to plug into a 110, in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Again, your docking station's up here toward the front. At campsites, we're going to plug into city water connection. First and foremost, a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this when plugging water into your unit because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose, but don't turn that hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. So behind your slide on the off campsite, all we're doing at this point is make sure our drain plug's back in. Throw some plumber's tape around that, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside, open up your slides, turn on all your water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines, shut them off, and then you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to use city water, we're going to go dry camping. Well, in that case, fill up your freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here, simply use a hose. Gravity fill this. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it up. Don't leave it unattended. Once it is full, remove your hose, put your cap on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set with power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing here in the docking station. Up here is a battery disconnect. There's a docking light. Cable and satellite connections. Again, fresh as city water. Black tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite and dumping the black tanks. Got a spray port hose here, and then a little hole here that you can run all of your hoses down through so you can close this. You got your big pass-through storage here. Down here is our freshwater drain and our low point drains. Talk about those when leaving the campsite. Coming down on your off campsite again, here's our hot water heater. Down in here is going to be where we dump our black and gray tanks. Talk about those when leaving the campsite as well. Got a spare tire. I recommend getting a cover for this. It's brand new, but you want to add to the longevity of the life of this, keep it from dry rotting on you on the road in the sun. Get a cover for it. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Maintain your roof is going to maintain the life of this trailer for you. Got a little griddle hook up here. That'll open up to set a griddle on. And there's your quick connect LP for that. There's your outdoor kitchen. Your furnace there. A couple things on that. One, make sure you steer clear of this when you're running it, and make sure it's never blocked. This is access to the back of your fridge, condensation hose, a vent for your hood vent for your stove. Gonna get you a longer handle on there. Prep for a TV out here. And then your big pass-through storage over on this side. You set for 110 and cable here. Back over here is your propane. It is on a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty loosey to open. Green means you've got gas. If that turns red, you're out. One more docking light out here. About covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up beside the unit, I always like to point out your fire extinguisher first. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Over to my right as I come in, here's going to be an awning control and slide controls. On your awning, start to run that out. I want to tell you, you only want to run this awning out until the flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see the bar. Otherwise, if you hold that down while you're running it out, there's your flap. Just want that flap to come down. It's kind of wet right now, so it won't. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Don't run it out further than you need to. If you hold that extend button out, it will run out onto itself and start to run up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. Again, slide controls, some lighting, cabinet with your cable for your TV. Make sure that green light is on. That's going to be your antenna. When you arrive at the campsites, run a digital channel scan to pick up all the local channels at the campsite you're at. Shut that off. Continuing around the unit, this is all individual one-touch lighting. You got straps for your chairs. Hold them down during travel. Same thing with this lighting here. Here's your thermostat. You can go with just a fan to cool your AC or your furnace. Alright, coming up into your bathroom. A couple controls back here to talk about. So this is where you turn on your hot water heater. If you're hooked to electric or hooked to gas, it does make a difference. Choose correctly. Here's where you turn on the water pump to utilize your fresh water. Shows the levels of your battery. Fresh, black, and gray tanks. 110 with GFCI reset. This shower door, you want to make sure that this is snap closed for travel. Got a hand crank open. Power exhaust vent here. Over to my right here is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Quite a variety in there. 15s, 25, 40. This is your carbon monoxide detector. Your fridge. Turn that on. Auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're running off gas. Push this up. Now you're running off gas. If that light comes on, check your gas. It'll be low. Over here, microwave, light, and fan for your cooktop. Turn these to light, hit your spark, and that's how quickly these, oops, wrong way. Hit your spark, and that's how quickly these come on. Same thing with your oven. Turn it to pilot, hit your spark here. Look down there, make sure your pilot light lit, and then just turn it to your desired temperature. Lighting here, one touch. Your island, just want to make sure you got some plumbing to maintain. Keep an eye on that down in there. There's the access panel to that. Coming back into our bedroom. Here's your lighting. Here's your antenna. To the right is up, to the left is down. You have an extra TV under here. That looks as though they've got it set up to plug it in here. That about covers everything on the inside. It's like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. Alright, so what I like to do is start shutting off lights that I know where my switches are. Then any of the lights that are on will be one-touch accent lights. And we can walk through the unit and shut off. Once all of them are off, come back to our control panel, turn on the living room lights, and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed, especially these ones. If this is left open that much, you're going to rip your door off and ruin your slide. But make sure these are secure. Come back to my control panel. First one down here is going to be our off campsite slide. Again, just go through the unit, make sure everything's secured, ready for travel. My biggest thing to say is doors and drawers, because those are the most important things to have closed up on this. As that one comes in, number 2 here, slide in. Alright, once it's in, shut off our lights and exit the unit. Now before you leave the dump station, you're going to want to lock and deadbolt this door, and then lift and turn your new handle over onto that. That's how you want that to travel. Alright, if we are out dry camping, boondocking, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come on over here, get up underneath there, and dump our freshwater drain. This one here on the left. Hook up our hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. For the campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be on your off campsite or your driver's side of your tow vehicle, right behind your tires. Arrive, got a 10-foot hose, hook that up, and pull your black handle. That's going to be the one on the right. When that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty or close to it, come back out here, leave that black handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this tank flush. Again, emphasizing your black handle open, hook up that tank flush and let that hose run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When you're done, close that, remove your hose, close that, make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained. Close your black and pull your gray. While my grays are draining, I like to come, dump my low point drains. There's 2 of them. When them are done, you have a lot less pressure in here. So come in here to your hot water heater. Carefully lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, hot water is going to come out of there. When that's done, push that back down, otherwise your door won't close. Then you can pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. Close that gray, grab that sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. And head on home. Again, Thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this tracer for many years to come. Happy camping.